Good morning, friends. Here is Dr. Naval Singh Todawat, Assistant Professor in Botany. Today, we will be having a lecture on the topic that is cryptogams. In cryptogams, or in the paper of diversity of cryptogams, first, we have learned with the regards viruses, mycoplasma, and bacteria. But today, we are going to learn the general characters of cryptogams and the classification according to G.M. Smith up to the class level. Friends, I would like to take you a little bit back. When we talk about the five kingdom system of classification, that is Monera, protist, plantae, fungi, and animala. As far as we are concerned with the botany, it's essential to know the plantae kingdom. Now, when we focus on the plantae kingdom, we see that the plantae kingdom is divided into two divisions. One is phanerogams and the other is cryptogams. Phanero means seeds bearing, whereas crypto means there are hidden seeds and non-flowering plant. Gami means to marry. In phanerogams, further the phanerogams is divided into two, that is gymnosperm and angiosperm. Angiosperm are flower producing plant, whereas gymnosperms are seed bearing or naked seed bearing plant. When we talk about the cryptogams, we see that cryptogams are non-flowering plant. Further, the cryptogams is divided into three divisions, that is thallophytes, bryophytes, and pteridophytes. Whereas these cryptogams represents the non-seed bearing plant. We call them as a lower plant or spore producing plant. Now, looking towards the thallophytes, bryophytes, and pteridophytes. In the case of thallophytes, the plants are very minute, bearing the thallus like structure, which is flattened. But the peculiarity or special characters of the thallophytes, here the plant doesn't seems to be have a true roots, stem, and leaf. Now the question arises whether there are plants those are not having the roots, stem, and leaf. How it is possible? But here in Thallophyta, roots are absent, that is true, roots are absent, but rhizoids are present, which seems to be hair-like structure. For example, in Thallophyta, we see algae. In that, Chara, nostoc, Eulothrix, and many more. Whereas Thallophyta are non-vascular plants. What do you mean by non-vascular? Means the transport system, that is the vascular system, is completely absent in the Thallophyta. But talking about the Bryophyta, Bryophyta are the plants where the vascular system is completely absent. These plants are seedless, and the plants are also called as the non-vascular plants. Bryophyta plants generally love to grow on the marshy and shady places. Simple land plants which are undifferentiated in their plant body. In Bryophyta, we cannot differentiate the plant into the root, stem, and the leaf. We may also call that true leaf, stem, and plants are absent. Further, the Bryophyta is classified, that is mosses, liverworts, and hornworts. Funaria, Markensia, and many more plants are seen in the Bryophyta groups. Whereas moving towards the Cryptogams group is completely opposite of the Phanerogams. Why we are saying they are opposite? Because in Phanerogams, plants produce seeds and flowers are produced. Whereas in Cryptogams, non-flowering are there and non-seedless plants are there. Which are those plants? Non-flowering plant, non-seedless plant in the cryptogams, such as algae, lichens, mosses, ferns, and so on. One more group is placed in the cryptogams, that is fungi, bacteria, and slime molds also. We know that the bacteria and fungi doesn't produce the seeds or the flower. Focusing on the bryophytes, as I told that liverworts, hornworts, and mosses are there. There are three divisions in the bryophyta. Okay, and the examples of the Markensiophyta, that is Rixia, Markensia. These plants are also included in our syllabus for the next semester. Anthoceros as well as the Funaria. You can see the diagrams and photographs of the said plant. Here are now the last one is, that is Pteridophyta. In Pteridophyta, the plants are known to be the vascular plants. Now keep one thing in mind, that the thallophytes and bryophytes are the non-vascular plant, but the pteridophytes are vascular plant. In cryptogams, we find these two groups on the basis of the vascular system. But in pteridophyta, the vascular system is present and the plant can be differentiated or identified easily. Marsilia, ferns, azolla, lycopodium, horsetail, and many more. You can see the diagrams or the pictures of the pteridophytes plants. If I By zooming these pictures, you come to know here is the fern plant, Lycopodium plant. Well, observe this plant, that is Lycopodium plant. See the leaves, how they are toothed, and the sporophyte, that is the reproductive organ of the Lycopodium, which seems on the axis or terminal part of the plant. Normally, like angiosperm, we don't see the roots as well as the stem and the leaf in such type of plant. Look towards the figure, that is fern plant. So before observing these figures, I would like to tell you that these diagrams or figures or pictures are not mine. They are taken from the SlideShare or from the Google. I am courtesy to the Google for using their diagrams and pictures. So here we see the fern plant. In fern plants, you can see the rachis, which is just elongated, and along to the rachis, aside there is leaflet, and the rhizomes are present. Next to that, you go for the selaginella, how the leaves are present, and then equisetum. You can find the scale leaves in the equisetum, the peculiarities of the equisetum, sporophyte which is developed, marsilia. Marsilia, you can see the leaves stem. Particularly this plant, we call it as aquatic plant. It is the free floating plant in the water, or it may seems in the aquatic ecosystem. As I spoke, I am representing here the kingdom Plantae in a flow chart. As I told you that Plantae kingdom is divided into two divisions, that is Cryptogams and Phanerogams. Further, you may see Phanerogams, that is Spermatophyta, sperms producing. Next to that, Gymnosperm and Angiosperms. Gymnosperms having the naked seed, whereas the Angiosperm are the flower plus seed bearing the plants. We all are aware of the angiosperm. We see the plants in our local areas too. Gymnosperms are generally observed in the snowfall or snow regions. Everybody is known of the cycas plant. It is also one of the garden plant. And regarding the angiosperm, we are aware all the seed grains and vegetables, fruits, whatever the fibers, then all the things we take it from the angiospermic plants. Whereas focusing on the cryptogams, I told you that cryptogams is further divided in three divisions, that is thallophytes, bryophytes, and pteridophytes. Whereas talking about the thallophyta further is divided, algae, fungi, bacteria is also included in the thallophyta, but they are the single-celled organisms. In thallophyta, we see the algae, fungi. For example, Spirogyra, Cara, Ulothrix, Ulva, and Udugonium, and many more are there. In case of fungi, you see the Rhizopus, Penicillium, and lots of the fungi are included in this group. So why the thallophyta? The main features of the thallophyta is that the plant don't show the true root, leaf, and the stem. Whereas in thallophyta, the plants are non-vascular plants. Non-vascular means vascular system is completely absent. That is, the system is composed of xylem and the phloem. Whereas bryophytes are the same non-vascular plants. In bryophytes, we have seen the funaria and many more plants, that is Markensia and many more. whereas the pteridophytes is the vascular plant. Means the vascular system is present in the pteridophytes. So friend, this was the general characteristics of the uh, cryptogams, uh, general characters of the cryptogams. And while we will be studying further in details in the next paper, one by one, of the bryophytes, pteridophytes, algae, fungi, and though in the next paper you will be going to see the angiosperms, gymnosperm, and all these aspects are going to cover in this year, in the academic year. With this, once again, I am very thankful. I am Kersey for using these images from the Google and sometimes from the slideshare.net.com. Thank you.